Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about my best discoveries of 2023. This is part of my 2023 recap series where I go through everything that I've learned, that I've tested, and tell you about the best when it comes to every single category. So not only fragrances, but also makeup and skincare. Today is not an exception. Today I'm not only going to talk about fragrances, although it is the biggest portion of this video, but also about my favorite products that I've discovered this year when it comes to makeup and skincare, and also some random stuff. So if you want to know the best products that I've tested, the best discoveries that I've made in 2023, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. I will highly appreciate it if by the end of this video you found it helpful or you enjoyed it, to give me a thumb up. That will help me a lot. And without further ado, let's start. As I said, this is part of my 2023 recap series. I do this series every single year, and you will find a playlist in the description down below for all the episodes. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this video. Is it going to be the first one or are there previous episodes? So if this is the first one, then please stay tuned for all the rest. When I speak about best discoveries, I mean not new releases, because for that I have a dedicated video where I go through the best releases in 2023. When I speak about best discoveries, I mostly intend fragrances that maybe are old, that maybe no one talk about, so they were a discovery for me. It's not a new release that I wanted to test. And usually I start with fragrances with the best fragrances that I have discovered. This year I'm going to change a little bit and talk first about the brands that I have discovered. Now, if you are new to my channel, I dedicated this year to Italian brands. I live in Italy and I decided, why not test more Italian brands, Italian niche and luxury brands? And this is what I did the whole year. I know I was not totally consistent with my uploads, but I did already film 12 new Italian brands. You will find the playlist of these episodes in the description down below. Now, it's not a surprise that the best discovery of the year for me was an Italian niche brand, and it is Milano Fragranze. I am dedicating a buying guide on this brand, and I will leave linked up here my first impressions so you can see it. And really, I was not expecting much when I tested this brand. It was just an Italian niche brand, so that offers a discovery set, so check, let's get it. And I was so pleasantly surprised by what I've smelled, especially given the price tag. So it's not an outrageously expensive niche brand and offers really high quality fragrances and great fragrances. I mean, it's only maybe one fragrance that I didn't like, that I wouldn't recommend. The rest was just excellent. And I have two that are my absolute favorites, La Prima and Panettone. La Prima is a creamy white floral fragrance that is just out of this world beautiful. It's one of the best white floral fragrances I've ever tested. It's jasmine and orange blossom, osmanthus with some cardamom and a beautiful ambery vanilla base. A masterpiece, and I absolutely love it. If I have to choose one white floral fragrance, a creamy, let me be very specific, a creamy sweet white floral, and I have a lot, it would go to La Prima. It is on my wish list now also with Panettone. This is my absolute favorite discovery of the year, hands down. While Panettone is for gourmand lovers, it smells like the dessert panettone. It's also the new inspiration for the new release that everybody seems to absolutely adore from Dolce & Gabbana, Devotion. But I definitely prefer this version. Although it is a sweet fragrance, it is more sophisticated in my opinion. Although the one from Dolce & Gabbana is great if you love extremely sweet gourmand fragrances. Definitely recommend it. For me, it's just too sweet and I don't like overly sweet fragrances. While Panettone, although smells gourmand and more authentic to the smell of Panettone, I prefer this one. Absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with this niche brand, and if they ever release a new fragrance, I will definitely be excited and want to test it. And that was my discovery of the year when it comes to a niche brand. Now let's get to a private collection or designer line. And for that, definitely the winner is Yves Saint Laurent private collection or Le Vestiaire collection. And I didn't yet test all the fragrances, but I tested most of them, and I have to say I am pleasantly surprised by this line. I know everybody absolutely loves Baby Cat. I'm not a fan. If you are new to my channel, here is where you hear a lot of polarizing opinion. I just didn't like Baby Cat at all, and I don't understand the hype when it comes to the scent profile. I don't know. I've tested twice. I did not like it. I have to say that the performance is stellar. Stellar performance. But the scent profile, I found it just not bad. And I'm not saying that it's a bad fragrance, but it's not deserving that hype. There are more fragrances from this brand that I absolutely love. And yeah, Baby Cat, although is a good fragrance, is not the best. I did a first impression on this private collection way back and I lost the footage, so I have to refilm that video. So stay tuned for a video on Le Vestiaire collection from Yves Saint Laurent. And my favorite fragrance from this line is Supreme Bouquet. There are more fragrances that I love, but this is my absolute favorite. This is a creamy tuberose, sweet tuberose fragrance, absolutely stunning. It's kind of a hybrid between Rouge Malachite and Vert Malachite from Armani Privé, but it has something special to it that distinguishes this one from the ones from Armani Privé. It has this creaminess that is in Vert Malachite, but it has also some aspects from Rouge Malachite. The tuberose, of course, is the star of the show here, and it has this a little bit edge to it, but it lacks this sharp green touch that I get from Rouge Malachite. And I have to say, this one deserves much more hype than Rouge Malachite. I've never understood the hype behind Rouge Malachite, I have to say, and I would say skip on Rouge Malachite and get yourself Supreme Bouquet instead, especially also, oh my god, the longevity on this one is amazing. And both of the fragrances that I've mentioned, so La Prima and Supreme Bouquet, are fragrances that I would recommend for those who love Rouge Malachite and Vert Malachite. And also for those who are a fan of L'Interdit from Givenchy and My Way from Armani, and you are looking for something in the niche words that is like a more sophisticated, more well-blended. These two are the best. If you want to upgrade to, I would say, better versions of these fragrances, then these are definitely for you. So that was the discovery of the year when it comes to private collections. Now let's get to my discovery of the year when it comes to affordable brands. And the one that I've discovered this year is L'Occitane. I have here in my hands Osmanthus, which is my favorite one. I also love the cherry blossom one. There is a vanilla one which seems to be discontinued, so I've tested the at the beginning of the year and somehow it's not available anymore. I looked at their website and I can't find it. But again, my favorite one is Osmanthus. This is a fruity floral fragrance with mostly Osmanthus apricot feeling fragrance, very fresh and invigorating, but still very feminine and sweet. Highly, highly recommended for Osmanthus lover. As you can see, I've got this bottle this year, but I've used it a lot. So love this brand, and they are quite easygoing brand. So there is no fuss, it's simple, clean, and easygoing, especially for summer. I think this is where they shine, so citrusy, fresh, summer, floral fragrances. And they are quite affordable. And although I know the brand, I've never tested any of their fragrances before, so I am really glad that I did. And before moving, an honorable mention brand that is quite affordable. It is a niche brand, but it's very affordable. It's a Middle Eastern brand and it is Afnan. And I have to say, I am new to this Middle Eastern brands thing. And it is an honorable mention because number one, I didn't test the majority of their fragrances. And number two, because they were sent to me. So the fragrances that I'm going to talk about now are kindly sent to me by the brand. But that doesn't influence my opinion. The one that got a lot of hype, that a lot of YouTubers talk about, is this one, Rare Tiffany. And I get the hype. I mean, the bottle is, as you would expect from a Middle Eastern brand, very, very elaborate, also the packaging. And this is jasmine, woody jasmine, I would say, with some musk, and it has also a creaminess in it from ylang ylang. This fragrance on my skin after not even a long time. After 10 minutes, it becomes very creamy jasmine fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous scent if you love jasmine and you are on a budget. Great performance. I cannot complain about performance with this fragrance. It remained on my skin almost the whole day. So no complaints when it comes to that. And it is a great jasmine fragrance. So I definitely get the hype. But my favorite one is 9 a.m. Pour Femme. So they have 9 p.m. Pour Femme and also the equivalent masculine fragrances. And I was shocked how much I love 9 a.m. because the notes on this one are not exactly my vibe. So you have raspberry, blackcurrant, oranges, so citrusy notes, and I don't think that the notes on Fragrantica are the right one for this fragrance because I definitely get a floral touch, a very predominant floral touch, mainly jasmine, maybe also some orange blossom and tuberose, but mostly here I get a fruity jasmine. And although raspberry is one of the notes that I am a little bit cautious about when I see in a fragrance because usually it pulls very synthetic. The same goes for lychee, by the way, for me, to my nose at least. So I was a little bit skeptic, but let me tell you, this fragrance smells so amazing. So amazing. Thank you, Afnan, for sending me this fragrance because I am totally in love and it is one of my best discoveries this year. I was sent these fragrances just a week ago, so they are new to my collection, but oh my God, Rare Tiffany is great, but this one is the best. I love it, love it, love it. If you love fruity floral, especially white floral fragrance with a sweet, juicy fruitiness, it's this one and has on me moderate to strong longevity and CR. So I am pleasantly surprised by this brand and I cannot wait to test more fragrances. Now let's get to the best discoveries of the year when it comes to single fragrances. And Back to Black from Kilian. Oh my God. Now this fragrance, when I first tested it, in my first impression, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't impressed by it, maybe because it is quite harsh. Now, this is a sweet tobacco fragrance. So think about, you know, tobacco vanille, tobacco color, all these fragrances that are tobacco but have a very strong sweet note in them. And in this one we have honey, tobacco and vanilla. So it definitely gives you a reminiscence of tobacco vanille, but it is totally different. It has a lot of spices going on and the base is totally different. I also love tobacco vanille, but I must say, you see, there is something special about this one. I can't choose between the two. It's just different. It's so sexy and alluring. The only reason that this fragrance is not in my collection is because it is a scent profile that I will not use enough to justify purchasing a full bottle. I am looking for a travel size. I also have a travel size of tobacco vanille that I have now for 2 years, I think, and I didn't finish it because it's a very strong fragrance and I don't have enough occasions to wear such a fragrance, and the same goes for Back to Black. So it is on my wish list, yes, but as a travel size, I cannot wait for this fragrance to join my collection because I am obsessed. It is nuclear, it's very loud and very projecting and extremely long lasting, and you will not stop sniffing your arm while you are wearing this fragrance. It is extremely addictive and extremely alluring. So yeah, for tobacco lovers, definitely recommend this fragrance, and it is definitely my favorite discovery when it comes to niche fragrances this year. And before moving to my best discovery when it comes to a designer fragrance, I have again an honorable mention, and it is an honorable mention because I didn't test the fragrance enough yet to have a final idea, but since I've tested that fragrance in my XERJOFF video, I will leave it linked up here, I can't stop thinking about it, and it is Allende from XERJOFF. It is one of the most gorgeous vanilla fragrances I have ever tested. And no one talks about this fragrance. I have no idea why, because it deserves a lot of hype. It is very vanilla focused, but it's not overly sweet, and it's very creamy and very soft. Not soft like weak, but soft how it is blended, how it projects. It's almost like a cloud of vanilla. It is gorgeous, and I've never tested anything like this fragrance. So very unique. It's so cozy and elegant, and oh my God, I'm obsessed with this fragrance. And since I didn't dedicate it enough time to really test this fragrance, I'm only giving it an honorable mention. And now when it comes to my discovery of the year, when it comes to a designer fragrance, it's kind of one of the oldest fragrances on the market, actually. And I'm speaking about Shalimar. Now, this is the limited edition bottle with vanilla in it. So, Millésime Vanilla Planifolia, I don't know how it's called. It's not even written on the bottle, which is kind of disappointing. Anyway, this one took me by surprise because I am not a fan of vanilla. I got this at the beginning of the year where I was just obsessed with discontinued limited edition fragrances. I have a whole haul on them and also a video on why fragrances get discontinued. I will leave it linked down below. This was released in 2021. And since then, they are releasing a new flanker of Shalimar, focusing on one note in particular every year. And I'm not, as I said, a fan of Shalimar. Never was, actually. Not that it's bad, but it was a great scent. So it's a fragrance that when I smell, I can see how great it was for the time, but it smells too vintage for me. This one with vanilla in it, oh my God, it just works. Yeah, you cannot find, unfortunately, you cannot find this bottle anymore. It's a real limited edition. So they released it, I think, at the beginning of the year, and it is almost sold out immediately. People love these bottles. I heard great things about the Tonka one, about the Iris ones that came out this year. But since I'm not a fan of these notes, I was not willing to blind buy the fragrance. But if I wasn't on a low buy, I think I would have blind bought these two, although these two notes are not my favorite. So yeah, the discovery of this year would be the new interpretation of Shalimar by Guerlain. Love, love, love this one. And you all know how I love the vanilla from Guerlain. Oh my God, it's so, so, so beautiful. Still elegant and has the DNA of Shalimar in the background. But if you love vanilla, this is the best. Last category I am going to talk about are notes. So I think the note or the note composition that I have discovered this year that just works for me for some reason is the combination of ylang ylang and white floral. So it's not a surprise that I absolutely love Supreme Bouquet. I found like the combination of ylang ylang in big doses with heady, almost heady white florals makes a fragrance just so alluring to me. I love it. I was always a fan of musky, fresh white florals. And now I am obsessed with creamy, sweet white florals. It is also the same combination in Vert Malachite. Again, not a surprise. And I cannot wait to test more fragrances with these two notes together. I know there are a lot of fragrances with these two notes. Ylang Ylang seems one of the notes that is thrown away in a lot of, white florals, but it is when it's very, very strong in a fragrance that I really, really like it. I do not like ylang ylang as a main note, but as a second note, oh my God, it just works in combination, especially with jasmine and tuberose. And these were the fragrances. Now let's move to makeup. And I have to say, this year I was thinking about eliminating this category altogether because I did not spend a lot of money on makeup this year, actually almost none. I did a declutter of my makeup collection and I realized that I have way too much for my style, for my lifestyle. I do not wear makeup on a daily basis and I mostly use makeup for special occasions and also for YouTube. So having such a big collection of makeup products just seems wasteful for me. And I decided to, strict myself a little bit. And so I decided to focus more on actually skincare and hair care this year more than makeup. But if I have to choose a product that I would give as the best discovery of this year, it would go to Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand High Blush. I have it here in Pink Gasm. It's just a mini. It was a set of both the highlighter and the blush. And this is not strictly a blush, it's more like a blush topper. So when I use this one, I don't use a highlighter because it's very beaming. And when I am wearing this one, oh my God, the amount of compliments that I get is insane. So I am actually considering investing in more colors, especially peach, because I love more peach colors when it comes to blushes. And maybe, the Pelutok one seems also nice. So this is Pink Gasm, as you can see, very, very, very beaming highlighter or blush topper, I would consider this one. So, so beautiful. I absolutely love the color, love how reflecting it is without being glittery, just beautiful. So when I go for a soft look, I go with this one. Oh my God, especially for spring. Beautiful. Love, love, love this one. Now let's move to skincare. And I have to say, this year was the year of cleansing balms and sunscreen. But first, let's talk about, I would say, the brand of the year for me, and it is the beauty of Joution. I cannot pronounce it. I have here the Discovery set, which has 4 serums in it. And oh my god, I loved every single one of these. Cannot wait to buy more of this brand. I also tried the cleansing balm, loved the cleansing balm. I know that the viral product from this brand is their sunscreen, but it is not my favorite. I will insert here a picture of me putting on this sunscreen. It's just too dewy for me, and it also breaks me out. So it was not my favorite sunscreen, but I definitely love the cleansing balm, especially for double cleansing when I'm not wearing makeup. So when I want to take off sunscreen, it's so good. It also works for makeup, but I prefer it for a daily cleanse. For makeup, I prefer my pharmacy one. This is my favorite till now for makeup. But their serums, there is something so magical about their serums. I cannot explain. I tried this niacinamide one, the calming one with green tea in it. You have the one with alpha arbutin, which is another ingredient that I love. You have the one with ginseng and snail mucin. All of them are just so cosmetically elegant, great formulation. Your skin looks amazing. There's something so magical about the serums. So yeah, although the viral product is their sunscreen, I would highly recommend their serums and also their cleansing balm. Now, as I said, I'm not a fan of the sunscreen from them, but I would highly recommend this one from Isntree. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it. This is the hyaluronic acid watery sun gel. Oh my god, it has SPF of 50, UVA, UVB. It's amazing. It glides on your skin. It's not too dewy. It has a dewy finish, but not too dewy as the one from Beauty of Jusson. I know a lot of people love this glass skin, but honestly, if you have pores, if you have texture, if your skin is not almost perfect, dewy skin looks not so flattering in real life. It looks flattering on camera, but not on real life. Trust me. Trust me. This one is just enough of dewiness that I can tolerate. So it just looks like healthy skin. It's amazing. It glides on. You don't feel it on your skin, so you can layer it during the day. And it works beautifully under makeup, no issue. It did not break me out. It didn't cause me any issues. Absolutely great sunscreen. Highly recommended. It didn't also water my eyes, because some sunscreens, though I love the formulation, do irritate a little bit my eyes. This one never did. Also the one from Beauty of Jusson, I have to admit. But I cannot recommend enough this sunscreen. Absolutely beautiful. And I have tested this sunscreen also during hot days, and it worked, which is a big plus, because I struggle mostly with sunscreen in summer because they can be too heavy. So I feel like my skin is suffocating. Sometimes they are too dewy. So I feel like my skin is greasy, or layering is an issue. So my skin peels, or it looks just unflattering. So a lot of issues I have with sunscreen when it comes to summer. This one just works. Absolutely stunning. So highly recommend this sunscreen. Now let's get to the best discoveries of the year when it comes to YouTube channels. And I usually have different categories. This year, I have to say, there is no fragrance channel that I can say is the best discovery. I honestly did not even watch a lot of my favorite fragrance YouTubers this year. It has been quite a chaotic year, I have to say, with a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know why I was not gravitating toward specifically fragrance content. Same goes also for makeup. And maybe because of that, because I am going through a lot this year, I watched more like funny stand-up comedy, this stuff. But I have to say the discovery of this year is quite random actually, and it is 3 Southern cats and Mama. I don't know why I am obsessed with this channel. I think I have binge watched every single content she created. It's absolutely funny, hilarious sometimes. She has 3 cats, and she is creating content, making, you know, as if these cats have a dialogue. And it's so hilarious. I just love it. My son loves it. We have now a ritual where we watch one of the videos before going to sleep, just to, you know, unwind. And so when I am busy and I am a little bit under, you know, pressure psychologically, I tend to watch these kind of content, and this one is my favorite this year. The next channel I have to mention because I love it when I want to be informed. So I am a fan of documentaries and, you know, also some political programs and so on. But I am recently really enjoying one channel in particular, and it is Johnny Harris. And mostly he talks about geopolitical issues. He has also some videos that are more historical, but it's always from a point of a geopolitical, you know, view. And I really enjoyed his channel. But as usual with anything, actually, I do not take anything from YouTube or so as fact. So I enjoy his content. I keep it as a point of view, but I do not store it in my head as a fact. Just disclaimer. And I do that not only with him, not because I am skeptical about his content, but it's something that I always do. Something that I've learned in my, you know, my life, also my academic career. And it's not like I am skeptical about any information. I take the information, I give it some credibility, but I still have a percentage that I leave for future corrections, or sometimes it's not correction. It's not that you have the wrong information. It's mostly that you have partially the information, if you know what I mean. So when you dig deep, you will have, let's say, a better view, a more comprehensive view. Again, returning to Johnny Harris, love his videos, love how he edits. He is quite charismatic, at least to me. How he is presenting, the editing, everything is really nice, and I am really enjoying his channel. So that would definitely be another channel that I have discovered this year that I'm totally obsessed with. And that was it. These were my discoveries of 2023 when it comes to fragrances, makeup, skincare, and also YouTube channels. Please tell me in the comments down below what is your favorite discovery of the year, especially YouTube channels. I love to see if you have discovered any YouTube channels that really caught your eye, so I can check it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to check the playlist of the whole series down below in the description, as well as the playlist of all the other videos that I've mentioned during this one. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time. Ciao.